morning, everyone. This is Zena Krogadal, your American Dream Makers host. I do believe that the American dream belongs to all of us. And not only can you achieve it, but you can go beyond. And today, I have an extremely special guest coming on. She lives in Zurich, um, Austria, and I'm sorry, Zurich, Switzerland. Goodness gracious, wake up, Zena. And she is amazing, and she absolutely is just a gem of a young lady who is rising star, and she is so full of passion, so full of imagination and creativity. And she definitely, and although she isn't an American, she absolutely displays and absolutely loves, being part of America. And she comes to visit very, very often. And so I cannot wait to bring her on here because she absolutely is going to add so much to our lives and enrich it so much. And she's going to be such an inspiration because, as you know, sometimes when we look at the young generation, sometimes we think, oh my gosh, what's going on with the young generation? But she is extraordinary, extraordinary. So her name is Viktória, and I am going to bring her on right now because I just don't even want to wait another minute. Hello, Viktória. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Viktória, tell us how you pronounce your last name.
Okay, so it's Janušová.
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 Yes, exactly. You got it right.
Okay, Janušová. Awesome.
Yes.
And I love the way you spell your name, Viktória, because that is not the American style name, and I haven't seen it spelled the way that you spell it. It's actually very unique. And so tell us what does Viktória mean?
Well, so my name means victory. And I would definitely say that I go by my name in life. I have big dreams and I am working on achieving all of them. So the way you spell my name is actually because I'm from Slovakia originally. I was born and raised and I studied at high school in Slovakia, and just a few years ago I moved here to Switzerland to start off my life and my career and follow my American dream.
Wow, that's so awesome. And so I love this. I love that you are from Europe, from Slovakia originally, and now in Switzerland, but yet you aspire to the American dream as well. Touch on that. What does that mean to you when you hear the words American dream?
Oh, well, it means my childhood. All the movies I grew up watching were American movies, American TV shows, American music, American artists, and I dreamt of going to America and visiting your country for a very long time. And actually, last year I made that dream come true, and I've been going back and forth ever since. I've started doing acting a couple of years ago with Glenn Morshower, who is an American actor. And so ever since I've been living my American dream, and it's just been amazing 3 years so far. And you can say that we really do have power in our hands to create a life we want.
Absolutely. So tell us, how did you end up meeting Glenn Morshower? And by the way, for those that are viewing and listening, if you don't know who Glenn Morshower is, he is actually a very famous actor in many supporting acting roles. I mean, you would know he's well known for being the secret agent guy on 24. He's been in so many movies, the Transformer movies. And most recently, he is General Shepard on Call of Duty. So a lot of the young generation know who Glenn Morshower is, at least the face. He's one of those that sometimes you're like, you don't necessarily know the name, but as soon as you see his face, you're like, oh my gosh, I know him. So how did you end up meeting Glenn Morshower and end up in his acting class?
Well, I actually had that moment. Oh my gosh, I know him. So it was very funny because back in 2020 during COVID, we were home. We didn't study at school, and I really took this opportunity where I said to myself, this is a really great time to start doing what I love. So I started doing research. What can I do? How can I start acting? How can I start American acting school? Is there something online? And there were plenty of possibilities online. And I came across a woman, Wendy Elaine Wright. She has her own acting school. It's called Hollywood Winners Circle. And so I signed up for the audit for the first class to try it out. I was very nervous. I thought to myself, gosh, I don't belong here. I am not even an American. I've never done acting, and I've just been surrounded with plenty actors in the class, and I was very nervous. And Glenn was actually one of the guests that came to that class. And I just said to myself, oh gosh, I know you from somewhere. That's a very familiar face. And he started talking about doing scenes with Ben Mendelsohn on the show Bloodline that was on Netflix and still is on Netflix. And at that time, I was actually watching Bloodline because the main character is Kyle Chandler, and I was a huge fan of his. So, and then I realized, oh my God, you're the guy from Bloodline. And then Glenn started talking about that he has his own acting classes, and that's the moment I knew exactly that what I need to do. I knew exactly that I need to sign up for Glenn's classes, which was a bit tricky because he accepted only people that are 18 plus, and I was 17 at that time, but I was about to turn 18 2 months later. And Glenn did something for me that he's never done for anyone else before back then. He said, "Okay, Victoria, we make an exception, and you're in. You can study with me, and you can start acting." And so, ever since, I had the honor to be part of Glenn Morshower's acting class, and I've been very, very, very lucky to have him as my mentor, as my acting coach, and he is my family. He's just incredible at everything what he does, and he has this special gift to just inspire people to do everything they desire in life. So that's what I've been doing ever since.
That is so awesome, Victoria. And for those of you that are viewing or listening in, and even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to remember Victoria's name and her face here, because one day you are going to see her all over the screens. And because she truly, Victoria, when I got to meet you in person back in January, uh, I had seen your interview with Ken Walls and was already like, oh my gosh, this young lady is just astounding, just astounding. And the way you carry yourself and the way you're articulating, being able to articulate at such a young age is so impressive. That's not a very usual thing. And when I met you in person, Victoria, it was so inspiring and gave me so much hope for the future, because if we can have someone like you out there being such a great influence and impact for others, and it's a ripple effect, and for you to be mentored by someone like Glenn Morshower, it is going to absolutely create a movement within your generation, within your peers, to be better, to be that better version of yourself. So I just applaud you for going for your dreams and not having that fear. So I would like to know, so you are very much a creative artist. So tell us the things that you are doing, not just doing the acting at this moment, but tell us a little bit more about your creativity that you have going on.
First of all, thank you so much for your heartwarming speech. That really touched my heart, and I'm just so grateful that we were able to meet each other in person back in January, and that we are here right now, able to share with the world our craft. So besides acting, I play piano. But I would say that I am not a typical piano player because I don't know how to read a music sheet. I really have zero idea. What I do is I compose what comes from my heart in the moment, and I just create music from what I truly feel. And if I have a bad day, I just sit in front of my piano and I let it out. I take my phone, I put on recording, and then I get back to it and I see if I can try to make a short song out of it. Because when I have a bad day, let's say, I have all these emotions within me, and I am a person who believes that you should not keep your emotions boiling inside of you. You can try to find a way how to release them. Maybe it's in form of speech, maybe it's in form of doing art, drawing portraits, and or making art videos, anything. So I sit in front of my piano and it's like a therapy for me. When I play, it's usually 30 minutes. I just go 30 minutes without stopping. I don't think about what I'm playing. I just let it flow, and I really get into that kind of a trance moment where everything is gone. It's just me and the music and my feelings, and I create from that place, which is
Wow.
very therapeutic.
And yes, it is an incredible gift that you have, that you're able to play with such passion and emotion. And I'm about to share that one of the videos of you playing, because I want our audience to really get a taste of it. But before I play it, I would like to know, first of all, how long have you been playing piano for? When did you first learn?
So I would say I started about when I was 8 years old, which is almost 13 years ago. But I have to tell you, I did not like it at all. I didn't like taking piano lessons. I just wanted to go out with my friends. I wanted to have fun. I didn't want to spend my evenings practicing piano music. It was just something I really did not like. And before I went to high school, I actually stopped taking piano lessons because I went to high school to another city. And and I guess it's the feeling of freedom that no one was telling me what I need to learn and what I need to play. But one day I remember I just sat in front of my piano and I started just playing something, and it turned out to be well quite nice music, and so ever since I've been doing that.
That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and play that if you don't mind, because I want to share with the world. Because I think it's just, this is such a beautiful. I don't know who captured this video, but they did a superb job in capturing it, and I'm sure, and even watching it on YouTube, I can feel the emotions that are coming through with it. So I can't imagine what it must have been like for those that watched live while you were playing. So, anyways, let me go ahead and share this, because I know that our viewers are going to just absolutely just be moved by it. So let me get to the video here, and if all is working well, it should play. So here we go.
是一个曲，应该是哦，sorry，应该是一个。
Thank you.
That was so amazing. And as you watch the video, you see that the crowd just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So take us back to that moment of that video, Victoria. Where were you at, and what made you decide to go play this?
So this was taken actually at the airport in Rome, Italy. Me and my boyfriend were going home from our little vacation, and this is just very funny because where you saw that piano, it was placed exactly next to the gate where we were supposed to go to catch flight back home to Switzerland. And so I saw that piano over there, and I just thought to myself, I always question it, if I see a public piano, I always question, should I go? Maybe I should not. Let's just go and wait at the gate and catch a flight back home. But I don't know, there's always this moment when I stop thinking and I just do it. I sit in front of the piano and I start playing. And I just remember I was so overwhelmed because it was my first time being in Italy, and Rome is just such a wonderful, inspiring place to be as an artist. The architecture is just breathtaking, and all the surroundings, nature, and the weather was just beautiful. And, I was going home with all that feelings and all these overwhelming feelings in me. So, yeah, I sat in front of the piano and I just let it flow, and whatever came out to me was the melody you heard. Actually, I had my eyes closed when I was playing. I had zero idea that there is anyone standing there. I didn't know there is a crowd gathering. So when I finished playing and I opened my eyes and I see people around me, and I'm like, oh gosh, were they standing here the whole time listening to me playing? And I got a little bit of nervousness in me. But when I heard their applause, I think it was a moment for me when I realized that, oh, my music is not that bad. They must have liked it if they were clapping, right? So when I rewatched the video back at home, I was just stunned that people stopped and listened to what I was playing, and most importantly, that I was able to share my heart with them, and being this close circle, sharing the craft and connecting with each other for music. I still think of that moment. It was one of those moments when you realize that, okay, I think the path I chose is the right path for me to go.
Absolutely. Hi, Crystal. Thank you so much for being on here this morning. And she said it was it was beautiful. Absolutely. Viktória, when you played that, like I said, watching that video, I can absolutely feel and sense the emotion behind it. And when you talk about how you were feeling a little overwhelmed and a lot of emotions because that was your first time in Rome, first time being there. And so as an artist, I am hearing that your emotional release, your therapy is through being able to play and display it out. But here's where I'm impressed, because most of us, the average person, when we have overwhelm and anxiety and we're in a stressful situation, I can tell you that many times our emotionally release. Well, okay, let me speak for myself. I can tell you that many times when I have emotional release, it doesn't come out beautiful like it does with you on that piano. And so I would just love to hear and maybe, and I don't know if you have the answer to this, because maybe this is just how you operate and this is how it is, that just things are always beautiful coming out of you, and it's fantastic. But when you were young, so you said you didn't like to play the piano when you started at 8, but you
No.
kept going. You kept going though, obviously. You kept learning. Right? And then it ends up being such an incredible gift, not only for yourself, but for those that are around you. How is it that something so beautiful can just come out so, because it's so smooth? It wasn't like you played and you stopped and like, oh, what am I going to play next? It's like it just completely flowed as if you had played this song before. So Crystal says, couldn't tell it was a first time experience, but could feel every single note and very calming and almost like an emotional hug that lasted the time you played. Very blessed.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you so
that's
much.
such a great description, Crystal. Wow. Yes. Okay. So yes, tell us, Viktória, how does it come out so smooth like that?
I don't know. I'm a very emotional person, and I am also a person who cannot hide their feelings. I simply, when I'm sad, if I feel like crying, I cannot hide it. I cannot suppress it. So when I sit in front of my piano and I just play it, I am. It's like a little instrument that helps me to let it all go in a very smooth way. It just comes to me. I mean, it's not so smooth because you could hear that also I made a few readjustments in my playing, that there were a few notes that didn't quite go well, but I just keep going. Because I believe in life, whatever happens to us, we just collect ourselves, we stand up on our feet again, and we just keep going, and we learn from the experience, and it makes us stronger, and it keeps us going. And for me, it's my music like that. Like I said, it's a therapy for me. I cannot really explain what it is. I didn't really think of it that it's something special or that it's a gift. But actually, I must give credit to Glenn, because he was the one that let me see my gift through the eyes of others, that he helped me to believe that what I create is beautiful. And I'm not saying it as a selfish person. I'm just, I didn't believe in myself, you know? I didn't think that my music is anything special. I actually thought of it that it's not good at all. And Glenn and everyone in the class just helped me to see that actually my feelings are beautiful. So are everyone else's. You know, I just found my own therapeutic way how to release them and put them into music.
Well, you said something that I find very interesting. So you're like, well, you might have noticed that there was a couple times I had to readjust. Let me tell you something. Most of us would not have noticed that because
Oh, really? Because I was like listening to it and I was like, oh, okay, that was the part when okay, that didn't go quite well.
but it's also because you know where you probably hesitated in that moment or where there was a little. But here's the beauty of this, and I'm really so glad that we are really talking about this, because here's the beauty of this is that this is such a great reflection of life. And I think we are most critical about ourselves when it comes to picking out blemishes and flaws. We are our own worst critics, right? Because as you're talking, I'm like, yeah, this is like, I think this is just about everybody. When we look in the mirror, we can pick out the blemishes right away. When other people looking at your face be like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, that like that's not where their eyes draw in. And here's the beauty is that when you allow yourself to be vulnerable like you did at this airport, and when you allow yourself to share with the world a gift that, and it is a gift because most people do not have it, right? It is, I mean, I took a couple years of piano and I can tell you, I do not play anywhere near that way. No matter how much I try to express it. In my dreams, I play really well, but in reality, it doesn't happen. And so for you to be vulnerable enough to display that, everything, even your little, you know, like you said, readjustments, a little bit of a flaw that you see in your head, it didn't stop you from sharing and continuing on, because you could have paused there and be like, oh, I've totally messed up, I'm done. Like, and which in life, sometimes that's what we do. In life, when we notice a flaw in our life, or as we're moving along, we might say, oh, I'm done, I'm turning around and packing up and getting to that gate. But you continued on, and you continued to let that music flow until it was time to be done. So Viktória, it is so inspirational. And I love that, that you gave credit where credit is due, and that was your mentor and the people that you've surrounded yourself with to allow that to come out of you. So tell us, Viktória, um, how much, and I know you've expressed it a little bit, but how much of an importance is it to truly surround yourself with people? Because some people like to be hermits, and I know many artists who actually kind of prefer to be in their little cave and not necessarily interact with people because they're creating. So explain to us, you know, how important it is to get out of that.
Well, I tell you something interesting. When it comes to me being at home and composing my own piano music, I like to shut the door and wait for my parents to go to work, or when I'm home alone, so I can play, because I am nervous playing around the closest people, which are my parents. But when it comes to strangers at the airport or anywhere else, I just play. That all goes away. And you know, being part of Glenn's class and getting to know every single person I got to know, which is a very wonderful human being, every one of them, it's just, we as artists, we share the same mindset. or we understand each other on an emotional level because we all put our emotions and we create it into an artistry. And for me, to be able to be in Glenn's class and just have the people who support me is extremely important, because you are the reflection of the surroundings you put yourself into. You know, you could be surrounded by people who just say, "Oh, your music is totally horrible. You should stop." And then you do, because you don't have a person saying that, "Oh, actually it's kind of nice." And you stop believing in yourself, so you just believe that it is not good, and you just continue with your life and let others control you. And so it is very important to surround yourself with people who kind of understand you or push you further to see your light and see your craft and see your beauty when you don't necessarily see it. And I think because of that, I was able to play at the airport,
Hmm.
because I believed in myself, and I believed what was coming out of me in form of the music was just pure and honest. And if you have something honest and pure to share, just share it with the world. Try to make it a better place. That's what my aim is, you know, to connect people on a deeper level through my music. And if it means helping just one person, to help one person get the emotions out, it's a win for me as an artist. And I'm just very lucky to have people I have in my life right now.
Mm. You are very blessed, and I don't think it's luck. I think you are absolutely blessed, and it absolutely was something that that you were willing to receive. Because I believe that everyone has these opportunities, same opportunities as any. I don't think it's luck. And I think, like Glenn says, it's when you get yourself positioned in a place that you are ready to receive your assignment, when you're ready to live that purpose that God had already placed in your heart from the very beginning. Because I do believe it is from the very beginning. And I do believe that it was, even when you were just forming in your mother's womb, that God had placed a divine assignment on your life. And many times we just have a hard time figuring out or submitting to it because we're fearful. Right? But you, at a young age, and you said it was 17 that you started your journey with Glenn and met Glenn. So how old are you now?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 in just a few months.
See, so you're 20. You are just gaining your wings, and really you're about to soar, and you have advanced in your life faster than most of us has. Because here I am, I'm almost 50, and I'm just beginning to expand my wings and get into that whole world. But and we can sit here and compare journeys, but that's not healthy either, because we all have our own walk and own journey and own destiny, and
Yes.
it's very different. But I love that you, at a young age, was so open to receive. So tell me, you must have had the support of your family. Tell me what it was like to grow up. You said you're from Slovakia and then you moved to Switzerland. At what age did you come to Switzerland?
I came right after graduation, graduating high school, which was 18 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
I moved to Switzerland when I was 18. And well, of course, every parent wants the best for their children, and my parents thought that the best for me is to go to university after high school. So when I told them I decided not to go, they weren't quite happy with that. I always knew it's not something for me. You know, it's my journey, and I don't feel it's the right choice for me to make at this particular moment. I believe I need to follow my heart. They weren't quite happy with that, but after years settling in Switzerland, getting a job, being able to finance my dream on my own, they realized that what I've done was actually the best choice, and that I really knew what was the best for me to do in that moment. And they started to see my journey. And I remember one time I was playing a piano at home, and my mom came up to me and she said, "This is so beautiful what you're playing. It should be put into a movie. You you really you really know what you're doing." And for me, that was just the most beautiful thing to do, to hear from her saying, um, because it was, of course, everyone wants to support from their parents, and my parents have always been here for me. They were always supporting me. There was just this little mishap when they thought I should be going to university because everyone is doing it and it's a safe bet to do, to go to university, get a degree, and get a job. Um, but I, it wasn't simply for me, and it just, the journey I am, my life currently right now at this particular moment. I was just thinking today before we had our live stream that I am so grateful to be able to say that I really love my life and how it's turning out, and how opportunities are coming my way, and how I am ready to receive them, but I am also ready to better myself because I am not perfect. And I want to learn. I want to learn at my own pace. I want to go my own direction. And because of that, because I listened to my heart, I was able to make my biggest dream come true last year. And it's going to America, visiting Los Angeles, seeing all these movie places, meeting with Glenn and my classmates, and just receiving this pure love from everyone. It was just so wonderful to be able to come to a country that you've never been before, that's just so far away from your home, and being welcomed by a family, because everyone, Glenn, and everyone from my acting class that I was able to meet was just very welcoming, and it was a huge family moment for me. And it was at that moment when I realized, yes, this is exactly how it's supposed to go, and I am proud of myself for listening to my own heart.
Mhm. Yeah, and when you were saying that, because I'm been on the side of the parent, and so I can understand the emotions behind your parents when you said university is not for me. Because my son did the same thing to me. He took like a semester of college, and then I said, "Are you signing up for the next semester, or have you signed up yet?" And he said, "No, I've decided that college is not for me." And I have to say, I was like, "What? Your grandfather did not come to this country for you to not go to college." Like it was
Yeah,
all this emotional stuff. But I have to say now that, because that was a few years ago, I look at him now, I'm like, you know what? He absolutely um, taught me a big lesson in that, sometimes what we think is the safest place to go, like you said, is a safe bet that you're going to have a nice, comfortable life. But really, life is too short to just live it comfortably. And I've come to realize that more and more as I'm getting, more life experience, that life is actually more worth living to go ahead and take those risks. And at the end of the day, I'd rather say that I took the risk and didn't make it or failed than to sit back and live a comfortable life and say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. So I applaud you for having that ambition, so early on, and knowing who you are. I also applaud your parents, because I know that was not easy, but yet they still support you regardless of your decision. And that is a gift for you, because not all parents are of that way. And Crystal says, Lord, put a hedge of protection around this young lady and help her stay humble and innocent in her gift, that she would glorify your kingdom and live the life of good you would want her to have. Bless her and keep her heart invested in helping herself and others like she is. In Jesus' name. Crystal, thank you so much. That's such a sweet prayer over Viktória.
Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Crystal.
wow, that is so sweet.
Beautiful.
So you grew up in Slovakia. I would love to hear a little bit about what that was like. Because Slovakia to Americans, it's so far, far, far away. And culturally, it is so different. So give us a little glimpse of what it was like for you to grow up in Slovakia.
I have to say that I had a very lovely childhood. I had friends and we were able to go out and just play games and really grow up in nature that I really appreciated. I was able to come from a humble surrounding that really taught me what life is really about, and also gave me this hunger to go to a huge city and or go to another country like America and make my dreams come true. Because where I grew up, there were not really any opportunities for me as an artist to grow. Of course they are, but I was reaching for something else, for something bigger. And I believe that growing up in my humble town, very small town, it made me appreciate the little things, but still aim for something bigger with gratitude in my heart, because I wouldn't like it any other way. One of the reasons we moved to Switzerland was basically for a better life, and I can say that my life is better, that I am able to really finance my dreams on my own and to now really start working on them. And this is exactly what I've been dreaming of when I lived in Slovakia and when I was still studying. I love where I come from, and I'm grateful for it, because it was a great preparation for life. And it really got me this drive to follow my dreams and to achieve something and to spread goodness and love in the world. And being from a small country, people don't really know about, it just makes it a bit more special for me that I can be the voice in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's so awesome. Again, you're very blessed for sure to have the experiences you've had. So if you want to follow Viktória, follow her on, I've got it scrolling here. So if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, it's at Viktória Janušová.
Janušová.
Janušová with a Y.
Yeah.
Janušová. And then her Instagram as well. Look her up. Absolutely start following her, because like I said, I want you to remember her name and her face, because you are going to see it a lot more often as the future unfolds for her, because this young lady is absolutely a world shaker. It's a game changer, really. And I also want to encourage you too, Viktória. Do not settle. Do not settle in life. You just keep going. There? Are you still there?
Uh-oh, it froze. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, yes. So, I know that sometimes when we're young in life, sometimes we don't foresee or picture or imagine, what the next 10 years is going to look like really fully. but I just want to encourage you to just continue to be open and receiving, because I think things are going to happen that that probably go beyond your imagination. So keep up what you are doing. Please keep sharing your gifts. Do not hide your gifts. Please keep sharing your gifts, because those gifts were given to you for an absolute purpose.
Yes.
So as we wrap up, Viktória, you want to leave us with something else that that may be on your heart today?
Well, just don't be afraid to share your emotions with the world, because in the end, our emotions, our struggles, it's what bounds us together and makes us human beings.
Absolutely. And such maturity for a 20-year-old, almost 21-year-old. This is so amazing. Do you have siblings, Viktória?
I don't, I'm an only child. I have a bunny though.
Well, that's great. That's fantastic. And I'm so excited for your future. I'm so excited for all the things that are coming your way. And I absolutely hope that we get to see each other again soon. And one of these days, I want to get back out to Switzerland. So when that happens, I will definitely be reaching out, because I'd love to meet up with
Absolutely.
you. And Zurich, we were there a few years ago. Well, I guess it's longer than a few years. It was 2018. But what a beautiful city, and so much fun to be there. So thank you again for taking the time to be with us today, Viktória. Really appreciate you. And so until next time, oh, we got someone else. Hi, Lisa. Oh my
Hi,
goodness.
Lisa. Hi.
Oh, thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Lisa is another beautiful soul and spirit that we got to meet in January. And I'm so glad we did, because she is just such a fantastic lady as well.
She's beautiful.
All right. I always have a hard time saying goodbye to my guests, because I have so much fun on here. But I guess it is time to say goodbye, because I know you've got work to get to and things to do. So thank you again, and we will see you next time. See you later, Viktória.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And if you're watching this on the replay, let us know. Please be sure to share this out. If you found value in it, please share it out. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share. I am on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Love to connect with you all. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and go out there and live your American dream. And don't let anything stop you, because listen, the American dream is so worth claiming. So get out there and do it. And let's chat soon. See you soon.